public health organization with any authority over drinking water has enacted or even proposed minimum TDS requirements. Several scientific literature searches have found no harmful effects. Real world situations exist with, like I said, about Mumbai and Kerala, where they have been consuming low TDS water. And in fact, the US EPA's expert on human risk assessment has written that drinking water supplies a number of minerals that are important to human health. However, drinking water is normally a minor source of these minerals. Typically, diet is the major source of these beneficial minerals. I am not aware of any data adequate to support the conclusion that water with low mineral levels is unsafe. So on this, I would like to conclude this question. TDS is a matter of taste and palatability. Health-wise, no harms and no benefit. So I would equally oppose people who said, low TDS water is beneficial. No, it is not. It is just a taste and palatability issue. It has neither harm nor benefits. And the mineral content of water is of little nutritional relevance, and water has a role in hydration and not in nutrition. I now would like to address this second question, that RO wastes a large amount of water. And I'm bringing this point more as a matter of perspective and a holistic thinking around household water consumption. Here again, let us look at a typical urban household that is going to put up a RO unit. Yeah. As per Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, there is this thing about a 5% household, 135 liters per capita per day. So that translates into 675 liters per household per day. Now, this is a benchmark. Some communities may get, some cities may get, and some cities may not get this amount. But let's take this as a benchmark household water availability. The drinking water availability is the drinking water required for a family of 5, assuming they are consuming all water from home, is about 10 liters. Yeah. Now, RO rejects water, and that at 25% efficiency, let us assume that to generate 10 liters of water, 30 liters of water is the reject volume. This 30 liter constitutes 4.4% of the total household water. Now, if you look at the urban activity-wise distribution of water consumption in every household, this table has some very interesting data. And this data is available at the Indian Environmental Portal. And that as against 4.4% of the total household volume of water going for as reject of RO water, bathing constitutes 28%, washing clothes 18%, and toilet 20%. So all these activities totaling to about 67% of the total volume of water used in the house is close to 450 liters. Now, and almost all of this water is simply going down the drain. Yeah. What point I would like to make is that efficient use of 450 liters can result in substantial higher water savings. To illustrate this specific point, I would like to present in front of you a case study where IAPMO, Indian Plumbing Association, and as well IGBC came together to launch a standard called Water Efficient Products of India. And across 7-8 different plumbing fixtures, ranging from flushes or EWCs, urinals, shower heads, lavatory sinks, faucets, etc., the baseline consumption was arrived at. They range from 6 liters per flush for EWC to shower head is 10 liters per minute, and the sink faucets would be about 8 liters per minute. And then it attributed for the water saving single star, 2 star, and 3 star. And what we found that we did a study for the top three manufacturers and their specific models that have been certified across 1, 2, and 3 stars. And these were some, 40, 45 products. And when we looked at the water savings this could result in and kind of aggregated it, we found that in a year, the top three manufacturers having totally 40, 45 products in the market with a certain use and therefore water saving could be saving as much as 20 billion liters of water per annum. Also, the fact that water is to be pumped up at the apartment's terrace by using electrical energy, there are also significant emissions avoided, almost 6,000 metric tons. So the point I would like to make is that of course, we have to think about increasing the efficiency of RO and reduce that the reject water rate. But at the same time, there is immense amount of value to go behind the flushes and showers, and those could result into significantly higher savings than saving that 30 liters alone. If you take a very simplistic assumption of 20% saving on a 450 liters, 90 to 100 liters is easily achievable, and that is substantial. So the point I'm trying to make is that yes, let us increase the efficiency of and reject the reduced water out of RO, but in the household there are many areas where you can make substantial savings, both either with the amount of time or by putting water efficient fittings. You can save immense amount of water as well as energy. Now, let's look at the third question: RO reject water and possible effect on soil salinity, etc. Now, it is a question of mass balance. Let's assume that we are talking of 1000 ppm TDS water. 1000 ppm is a kind of a upper 20% of high TDS scenario in the country. Yeah, beyond that, people may not be using that water for drinking, but there will be few pockets in which even higher ppm water will be there. But let's assume that 1000 ppm is the input water quality. Now, if you take that 4 liters and with 25% recovery and 90% TDS reduction because of RO, the treated safe drinking water will have of 1 liter will have 100 ppm TDS. Yeah. So now the remaining from 4000 you minus 100 ppm, which is gone into your drinking water, that remaining 3900 is distributed across 3 liters, which is 1300 ppm. So the water that you took at 1000 ppm has now become 1300 ppm. It's not like concentrated 3 times, because the volume of reject is still much higher than the volume of recovery, and therefore it is just a 30% increase in TDS as compared to the input water. And again, I would like to bring the context of all the household different activities that we do. I happen to work in Unilever, and therefore I have some insights into what happens in a household, be it with laundry or bathing. And I have not taken other, cleaning chemicals that are used at home. But detergent powder contains organic ingredients as well as salts and inorganic compounds like STPP. The typical daily use is about 3 grams per kg, and for a 5 kg load, it will use 15 grams of such material goes down the drain. And so is the case with soap bar. A typical soap bar used per human bath is about 4 grams, and if there are 50 people, another 20 grams goes down the drain. Now, all of this needs to be reduced, but in the context of what we are talking, the 30% increase in TDS concentration of the reject water is not hurting more, or for that matter is not having, because the volume as well as compared to the rest of the thing is low, is not likely to have a major impact on soil health. So I would like to conclude my talk by saying the following, that consuming RO water is harmful to health because minerals are removed or leaches minerals from body. That is unsubstantiated. That RO wastes large amounts of water is an exaggeration, and RO reject water and soil health is unsubstantiated, and it is very targeted only to RO and not holistically looking at other materials that go down the drain from the house. On the other hand, RO is the only technology that can remove all forms of contaminants, biological and chemical. And we are a country where right from arsenic, fluoride, viruses, parasites, everything could be present in water one time or the other. It could well be that some cities receive good drinking water of 100, 200 ppm TDS, but in cases of scarcity, these buildings themselves have groundwater, which may again be contaminated and may have high TDS. Yeah. So RO is the only technology that can remove all these forms of contaminants. No other technology is available at scale that can achieve this. However, I at the same time agree, and I believe that all efforts must continue for discouraging the use of RO water below TDS of 500 ppm, because it doesn't make sense. Um, all efforts should continue for reducing the reject water discharge to bring it down, and then alternate technologies for addressing all the contaminants from water, and also the taste of high TDS water need to continue. The innovation cycle needs to continue for that. Also, the last point I would like to make is avoid the use of RO water for purposes other than drinking or consumption, because again, that's not the right thing to do. RO is relating to taste and safety of drinking water, and it should not be used for bathing or washing a few things, etc. So I would like to definitely say that I believe that all these aspects that I said at the end about discouraging the use of RO for TDS below 500 ppm, reducing reject water discharge, and search for alternate technology must continue. But some of the myths that have been there in people's mind, I wanted to address those through this talk.